I cannot get over this. He has a losing record in games he's ever trailed. That is unacceptable for his talent. Brady is defined by comebacks. Elway was defined by comebacks. Russell Wilson's defined by comebacks. Patrick Mahomes is defined by his arm and increasingly by comebacks. You lead Aaron Rodgers at any point, 3-0, losing record. He's too talented for that. And I said before, some guys are ballers, some guys are bailers. And Greg Jennings will join me, the former Packer, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. So it's one of those days I'm the bad guy beating up on Aaron. But that I cannot get past that. I just think this team, Greg, is too damn talented to get blown out in their last 4 losses dating back to last year. It is hard to beat bad teams in this league. Bad teams. You get into most of these games late third quarter, it is chess. I mean, you're trying, it's attrition. There's got to be something to this stat that Aaron, I thought after his second pick, he just played differently. I mean, what did you see?
Well, I will say this. From week to week, anything can happen in this league. And yes, the numbers that you're putting up when they've trailed, when he's been behind, have not been good. But from what I've seen, the seat that I've been able to fill and sit and watch this team overall this season in 2 games up close and in person and talking with these guys, defensively, they have to be better. They have to be able to stop the run. And they were not able to do that yesterday. And then what we've saw also is them not turn the ball over, them not give their opponent other opportunities or more opportunities. They did that yesterday for the first time all season long. Aaron Rodgers did not play well, but he didn't have the supporting cast that he's had all year play well the way they have in previous games this year. And let's face it, the Bucs played a really good game defensively. When you sack and you apply pressure on Aaron Rodgers or any quarterback in this league, they get rattled and the game plan changes and you have to quicken things up offensively. Timing is disrupted. And that's what we saw against the Green Bay Packers for the first time all year. Kudos to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
But the last 5 losses have been to a very physical Tampa defense, twice to a very physical Niners defense. Last year, Bosa, Ingram for the Chargers, very physical. And then the Eagles in Lambeau just ran the ball over him. Could I not argue this? There are teams that are physical and there are teams that are more finesse. And there is a little bit of a trend. The Packers front office addressed this in the draft. They went after blocking tight ends, an interior offensive lineman, and a power running back. That the Packers, there's starting to be a trend here in the last 2 years. They can be very finesse, but they're not a physical football team. Is that fair?
I will give you the finesse. They are a physical football team watching them play, but they have the tendency to fall into that finesse category. And when you look at the extremely physical football teams, you look at the Baltimore Ravens, you look at the
Steelers,
the San Francisco 49ers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, teams that really allow their defense to go before their offense. And that's where I feel like the Green Bay Packers have not gotten it right. They've consistently, because of the play of Aaron Rodgers, have always relied on their offense to be out front, which understandable. But at some point, your defense has to step up and play well. They have played well to a degree this season. I believe, and they know this, they want to play better, specifically in the running game. But to your point, when they've played teams that are truly physical across the board, they have been dominated and they have been outmanned. And it's a nastiness that I feel like is the differentiator.
Yeah.
They don't play with that nasty, grimy mentality or approach where the Philadelphia, or not the Philadelphia Eagles, even the Eagles at times, when we've seen them at their best defensively, but the 49ers, that's the type of defense that really rattles the Green Bay Packers. And we saw that yesterday with the Bucs. They played a physical, nasty, get after the quarterback, don't let Aaron Rodgers beat you type of a game.
You know, I've said this before. Leadership's not easy. There are very few leaders because it's hard. You have to yell at people and confront people. And in sports, outside of baseball, you have a clock. So if you have a dilemma, you may have 30 seconds to solve it. And there's crowds and there's volume and you get loud and you confront and you don't have time to dilly-dally around. Brady has a history of getting after guys and chewing guys out on a sideline, coaches, coordinators. That's not Aaron's style. Peyton Manning could be a chewer. Aikman could be a chewer. And for the Buccaneers to go from 11 penalties to none is so Brady. And I want to talk about that because nobody likes to get yelled at. But there are moments where if a leader comes in and starts chewing and you can sense the urgency. When I looked at Tampa yesterday, my takeaway was they were really physical. And, man, that was Patriot-esque. That was really tight. And what do you think practice was like this week for Brady, having chewed the guys out in national TV, and then he has 9 days to prep for the Packers?
Well, I think there was a focus on attention to every single detail, including your quarterback, who is the GOAT in Tom Brady. When you have a mental lapse the way that he did in their last outing, of course, you're not only going to rip your teammates, but you're going to take on some ownership yourself so that never happens again. And when it happens to your leader, your captain, the one who everyone is following, your alpha male in that locker room, you have to pay attention to it and you have to address it. And I feel like that's what happened. And let's not get overboard with the Packers, because when you win and when you lose, there are completely different approaches to your week. And the Buccaneers had a tough loss going up to Chicago and losing to a Bears team who we all thought that they would beat, and they didn't. The way that they lost, it created this atmosphere and this kind of backs against the wall, and let's make some changes right now. They have to address these changes. When you win, you don't have that same approach. You still want to find the things that you have not done well and make them better and sharpen them, but you have to have this high on, guys, we are getting it done. Let's continue to stay in this lane. And there's just different types of approaches when you win versus when you lose.
It's one thing to lose. It's another to be overwhelmed. I mean, Carson Wentz yesterday had no weapons and valiantly fought. I mean, using backups to backups. Yesterday, Baker, again, it happened against Baltimore. It happened against Pittsburgh. This is his third head coach. He looks overwhelmed when he's back. He looks small. He doesn't have the arm. Like, I honestly believe they are looking, this new coaching staff watches the Baltimore game and the Pittsburgh game. And he's like, listen, this is not, we're too damn talented to lose like this. I mean, I don't know how you could watch that as a third coaching staff, as an owner, as a general manager, and think this guy can overcome. I think there are people bailing on Baker in Cleveland.
Well, Colin, the one thing that I've noticed about Baker against teams that have a game plan and can execute it and can disguise long enough, he struggles. And what I mean by that is they can hold what they're going to go to as far as their coverages to the last moment and confuse a young quarterback like Baker Mayfield, someone who goes to the line in the huddle. When you're a young quarterback, the play caller gives you the call, and they kind of guide you through the progression. You know it, but they kind of guide you. If you don't have this, check it down. Well, when you play against teams like Baltimore, who is in their division, who they will see twice, and we saw them do this to them. You play against teams and defenses like the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have a ton of talent and can disguise and hold on and can pressure you. You can confuse the quarterback, especially someone like Baker Mayfield, who they have shown they can do this to time in and time again. He has success when the running game is very apparent. It was not yesterday, and it was solely on him. He had to bring his team from behind. He did not show up. They got after him. They disguised. They confused him at times. This is what the trend is for Baker Mayfield, and he's going to have to answer this riddle, or teams are going to start doing this week in and week out.
Greg Jennings, 10 years NFL, Super Bowl, multiple-time Pro Bowler, Fox Sports NFL analyst. Good seeing you, bud. Appreciate you stopping by.
Absolutely.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.